This is the freaking Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans.
A show about everything from the 90s to the thousands. Everything's on the table from the Backstreet Boys to Saving Private Ryan. Did I mention your son Matthew Taylor and Caleb Bryan? Yeah, the frickin' Frack Show. Yeah, the frickin' Frack Show. The frickin' Frack Show.
Hello.
My man, what's happening, brother?
Hey, man. Crazy week. This is a week of recovery and when I'm supposed to get sick, because every time you go to a con, you do get sick. I'm very exhausted and I can't seem to come back from that, but eventually, right?
Right. Hey, everybody knows the drill by now. I mean, episode 85, it's a podcast for the fans, by the fans. We need to know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're dropping in from. We got that new theme song rolling. Jamie is in the house as always. Hello, Jamie. We love you. Krista's in the house. Taylor,
Sharon!
you had yourself a big weekend. You were mentioning it. You just mentioned it. What'd you do?
Yeah, so I drove to Atlanta from Louisiana, about 8 hours away, and I went to stay at our mutual friend Brian's home with him and his family. They housed me and fed me, and it was really a surreal experience because Brian and I had not seen each other in many years, and it was just absolutely incredible to see one of my what's crazy is Brian and I met when I started this movie business for selling physicals and digital codes that you get inside the physicals. That was probably about 8 years ago, if I'm thinking right. And it's been a few years since he and I met. So I drove to their house. And I stayed with them from Thursday through Monday. And I had an absolute blast because we got to go to the Fandemic Tour together. It was absolutely insane in every way. Beforehand, I had found out one of my dearest and best friends had passed away with cancer. And within 30 seconds of that phone call, I had gotten a message, and it was from someone saying, hey, actually, I can go ahead and say it was Ben, the director of the panels and programming. He had said, hey, so basically was wondering if you're interested in, doing a panel with a boy band member. And I said, oh, yeah, and that really, beforehand I was going, but that really drove me to go. That was such a motivation to do this long drive, which, by the way, it wasn't, because I listened to a couple episodes of the Talk Scary to Me podcast and a couple of different podcasts. So yeah, that was 8 episodes and I was already there,
Yeah, podcasts get me through my day. That's absolutely for sure.
I've never done that before, by the way. I never listened to podcasts. No, I listened to hours, but I was like, let me try something different. And but no joke, for long drives, if you guys don't listen to podcasts, you should be listening to the frickin' Frack Show, all the time in your cars, because it does make the time go by so much faster,
Yep. It's it's like 8 hours a day. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I have it in my earbud and we're just flying. I'm telling you, I throw in a different one all the time, and it's always something different, but how long of a drive was it?
So it was about 8 hours, and I had left at 7 that morning, and I got there the afternoon. And, with traffic, everything was going good until I hit some traffic, an hour before I got to Brian's. And I was like, oh, man, my luck. I passed New Orleans, no problems at all. I went through Mississippi, And then like 45 minutes later, I was in Alabama already. And then it took a while to get to Georgia, but eventually I got there too. And it was my first time driving to Atlanta and driving in Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama, period. But it was insane. You know, we kind of, I got there and I kind of just hung out with Brian and his family, and we ate some food, and it was really just surreal being there in that moment, especially because I was like, you know, I'm really here. You know, I haven't seen this guy in many years, and we talk every day, 10, 20, like us, you know, we talk 20, 30 conversations in a day. And it was really really just, I don't know, just surreal in every way, you know.
Yeah, so you get to Atlanta, right? And then all of a sudden everything kind of hits home, right? It's like, hey, you know, you're going to the con. I mean, it's
Oh man, I'll tell you this. So Friday, so that next day, Friday morning, I actually drove to one of my favorite and dearest places, that because I lived in Atlanta for quite some time, and I was able to go to their second location, which was like 20 minutes from Brian's house. It was called Highland Bakery. And I was able to get my favorite peanut butter banana French toast. And it was incredible. Like,
hold up. Peanut butter banana French toast. All right, so hold up.
yes.
I think it was the Sound of Musical that was, these are a few of my favorite things. That
I
in a
think so.
nutshell is exactly, you're speaking my language, man.
Yeah.
Was it expensive?
Yes. It was $17.99.
Woo.
And but I'll say this. Halfway I contemplated on finishing or just feeling awful finishing it. So I just finished it. You know, I said, I'm not ever, you know, it's only gonna be like 2 or 3 months because we're going to Ranger Pop, but like a Ranger Stop, but like it's been years since I've had this place. Like I tell people about, you know, this place and French toast, and they're like, oh, what's, you know, unique about French toast, right? And I'm like, you gotta be there to understand it. You know, like you don't understand.
Man, when I was at my biggest, dude, when I was at 357, I would smash. So I'm talking just smash French toast, bro. Not kidding.
I have not had French toast since, you know, 3 or 4 years since going to Highland Bakery.
Worth it.
I refused, you know, but you know, after that, and Brian had to work, of course, you know, so it's like, you know, it's a Friday, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to Sonoy where they filmed The Walking Dead, they filmed the Fighting Temptations movie, they filmed Driving Miss Daisy, they filmed like 30 or 40 projects there. So I was like, let me go ahead and go over there, and I went to this famous church, which is where the Fighting Temptations was the exterior of it, and maybe the interior too, was being used for, and it's been used for a couple different projects as well. But Sonoy was this one street. That's all Sonoy is basically. It's one street, you know, 2 blocks or so, and that's all you get there. But it was used for The Walking Dead, like seasons 2 and 3. So there was, in being Fandemic Tour was happening, there was so many different people, celebrities. I mean, just from The Walking Dead, even walking around. It was kind of insane, you know. So I did a live there, kind of showing people the town and everything. And I literally stayed there for about 10 minutes, though.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
who from The Walking Dead was there? I've never seen it, so I have no idea.
So I don't know their names. Well,
okay. All right,
maybe a guy named Ross, but like there was like 2 or 3 different people there, like signing stuff before the Fandemic Tour started that Friday evening. So I have not gotten to where, I mean, I was on season 4 or 5 when I left and said, I'll catch up. And it's been about 5 years. But it was really, really cool. You know, I just wanted to kind of go and see the aspects and see the, like Alexandria was like right behind me, which is a town that was in season 2 and 3. They had it all gated off and everything walled in. But, I got to see all that. And about 10 minutes later, I said, you know what? I'm going to Atlanta, which is good. Atlanta. Well, what's funny is my buddy Brian called and he says, hey, just letting you know a tornado's heading that way. And I said, okay, well, I'm on the way to Atlanta and I'm going to be far away from you guys. So stay safe.
Tornadoes, dude, I tell you what, it's like hurricanes where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And which is insane,
Yeah. From now till June or July.
That's crazy, man. We had a tornado touchdown the other day and destroyed a part of New Orleans, outside New Orleans, called Araby. It's like 2 miles from where my uncle lives. And I called him and he said, I'm okay, but everywhere else around me isn't.
Dude, before we move on, let me ask you this. There's like 2 places in the United States that I constantly hear are getting hit and devastated, and it's Joplin, Missouri, and Louisiana. Or New Orleans. Sorry. I just called your state a city. New Orleans.
Basically is.
Constantly. Anyways, we're moving on. All right, man. So you leave Sonoma and you head to Atlanta.
Yeah. So I go ahead and just park. They were so cool over there. They were like, oh, it's like $10 to park. I'm like, man, I'm used to paying like 20, 30, 40 bucks to park. And they were like, no, it's $10. And so I go and set up my booth, and they're like, oh, that looks terrible. No, this is the booth, baby. This is the booth.
So what do you got there? What do you got there?
So I have one side is where you can do some you can take the little sticks with different things, which I'll go ahead and demonstrate that to you. Blockbuster and chill, right? You can take, and do little photo ops and everything. And shout out to Ashley. She's amazing, by the way. You definitely have to meet her. And the other side is we have the 90s and 2000s trivia. And we have our sheet that kind of shows, who we've had on and our stats with our statistics and everything. And they gave me 2 tables. I felt like a king there. I really felt like a king. I was like, I can have 2. I'm moving up. The last one I only had 1. They're 8 feet long each.
16 feet of tables. 16. Yeah. I'm good at math. Sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So when you get there and you get set up, man, we're like, so I know you had said that they reached out, right, about doing a panel and a booth.
Yeah.
And so when you get there, is there those lines like there was at 90Con that we kept hearing about?
So I went super early, bro. I went like 4 hours early, and I'm classified as a vendor in media, so I was able to get everything I needed early on. And Ashley's here. She says she is the best. She is the greatest. There was lines, but it's nowhere near 90s Con and what people described and said, the most now for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, there was a line from Friday through Sunday. There was a line so big that on Sunday they were canceling a lot of the photo ops for Sunday people because they weren't done with Saturdays, and that isn't good. But it's there wasn't much of any lines. Like it was like the most maybe like 15, 20 people, like 10 to 20 people per celebrity, but it moved fairly quick and moved very well. And that was, by the way, just going forward with this, like that was where I met a lot of the fans of the show. I was in Joey's line a lot. And because they had said, hey, go introduce yourself and everything. And I was walking up, before I was walking up to him, there was people like, oh yeah, the freaking Frack show's here. And I was like, yeah, that's me, and they're like, oh my God. So, I watch your show and, I love this episode, that episode. And everybody had
things are heating up. Hold on. Things are heating up. Tell me more. I want to hear more.
Everybody had a different answer, like they knew. They were like Jeff Timmons and, Brian or, it's just, they even said, Adam. And I was like, yes. But like, yeah, so like I was in his line a few times. And it was always where like a crowd would kind of exert and just come and start talking to me. And that was great, because, I didn't want to spend all the time sitting at my booth, and just waiting for people to approach me. I kind of wanted to outreach and say hi to people and talk to everybody over there, and even introduce the show to people who don't know us. And I think I accomplished that, or exceeded that expectation that I had of myself, But it was really, really cool though, and I went to introduce myself to Joey, and I was walking up, and he's like, Caleb Bryan, it sounded familiar. And he's like, and then I saw your shirt and I knew exactly who you were.
Oh,
And I was like, man, so that's awesome, man. He said, I know you know about boy bands. I know, he's like, I know the premise of your show and the people you've had on. So I know it's going to be a great panel with you versus many, many panels previously, And I told him I wouldn't disappoint him. And, and after that, I went ahead and went back to my booth, and I was waiting on one of our frickin' frackers, man. Really, really, this is one of the absolute top highlights for me, was meeting our girl Allison. It seemed like forever, like, because they were trying to like find parking and everything, but like when she said, hey, we're here, it was the craziest thing. I was going, like, as soon as I got the message, I said, I don't even think I said anything. I just went up the escalator, and the first person I see is Allison and Ashley. Man. Very, very first. Like, it was the craziest and surreal experience.
Yeah, dude. And I know some people have written in some things, and sent in some things. Allison wrote, about her experience. On Friday, March 18th, 2022, I got the opportunity to spend the afternoon at the Fandemic Con in Atlanta, Georgia. Frack met my friend Ashley and I at the door and showed us where to go to make sure we got our badges, and took us to the show floor. When they went and checked out the frickin' Frack show booth, we then walked the show floor, checked out the various booths, and chatted. We ended the afternoon by meeting Joey Fatone from NSYNC, ladies and gentlemen. It was definitely an experience to remember.
So that was actually both of their first cons. Allison had said she had never been to a con before, and originally she was going for Nick, so she had this awesome outfit. I think it was for the Buccaneers. And, it was just really, really well planned. And of course, for those who don't know yet, Nick Carter canceled for different reasons. Are you looking at me because you're like,
I'm just waiting. Go on.
So he canceled, and Allison said, well, I guess I'm going to wear my frickin' Frack show shirt.
Yeah.
So she wore an OG shirt, and she was recognized. It was hilarious because we were in the Joey Fatone line, and she was the shirt was recognized by somebody. And then I remember Allison's. They said something about like, frickin' Frack show's here, and then Allison was like, yeah, that's him. That's Frack. But we had a wonderful time. It was amazing. Allison has been a friend of the show since I think the first couple months is when, so we consider her OG frickin' fracker. And it was absolutely incredible meeting her and just being with her and having a great time walking with her and Ashley. And it was unbelievable because I think it was the first time I had met an OG, and it was truly a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, man. And talking to her, she let us know that, you were kind and you were helping out, you know what I mean? So that's really cool of you.
And what's funny, it's not really funny, but like what's funny is everybody who sent the videos kind of said the same thing about like Frack was very sweet.
Yeah, sweetest.
But we got to meet a lot of people, man. Look, we look, they're so excited about the the photo opportunities and all. And
Allison, gosh, correct.
we got to meet some incredible people, like incredible people and
6
friends of the
shirts,
show.
dude. 6
Yeah.
shirts. I like that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, I love that.
And look, oh my goodness. By the way, everybody, let me just say that everybody was absolutely the sweetest to me. I don't know well, I guess I can say I know how I was perceived by many, but like everybody was absolutely just sweet. People were just so excited about being there. Most of the people that I spoke to said this is their first con. They came for Joey or they came for Nick and didn't know he canceled. It was hilarious because I laughed and I really felt bad afterwards because I was like, oh, they were really serious.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, it was an absolute blast just hanging out with fans. We met, people we were familiar with. I think her name is Karina.
Katrina.
Katrina. Katrina was there, and there was a lot of people there. But then also, what's cool is we got to meet some new people who didn't know about the show, who said like, this is the greatest thing ever. Looking at all the people we had on the show, and it was just really really cool, man. So that's about Friday, and afterwards, Allison and Ashley and I walked around for a while, just looking at all the booths, spending all our money on Legos and wallets and everything else. Well, I mean that was me, but and so yeah, that was my Friday. About maybe like an hour of walking into. I felt so tired, talking and nonstop and of course just the ride and everything. Just 2 hours of sleep the night before. So I went ahead and went back to Brian's and just hung out there and talked to them about the con.
Yeah, what was your favorite part about Friday? Like, so wait, so Friday, so people don't show up on Friday, right? Like,
yeah, so typically Friday is usually the day where like the con's just getting started, so it's either going to be a bad attendance or a good. But there was a bit of people on Friday. It wasn't terrible like a lot of conventions I go to. It's very very low attendance, and Shayla, thank you so much. I love you. It's so great seeing you guys. And but I mean, it was really really cool. My favorite part would probably be meeting Allison, truthfully,
awesome.
because it was we're always talking about meeting our freaking frackers all the time, and we're always in the paid supporter chat talking to them about we need to meet, we need to do this. We have so many ideas, and eventually something's going to come together for all of us to meet. And, it was just surreal to be able to meet Allison and just after all this time, and just talking to her for, 2 years or a year and a half, it's like you knew exactly how it would be in person. And it was amazing. And that was definitely the highlight for Friday. Saturday's a different story.
It's always crazy trying to, hoping and wishing and just kind of setting it into the universe. Please be who I think you are,
No, that's you.
Yeah,
that's you with me. You were like, I wonder if Caleb's the same person.
Hey man, the internet's
that was
crazy.
So disappointing.
No, the internet is crazy,
I know, and it makes it a little easier doing this, like video chatting and things like that. Let's see, and as far as Saturday, that's whenever when the real fun begins, because Brian and I, so this is Brian's first day. Brian's like, okay, would love to come. I said, oh yeah, most definitely. So we drive to Atlanta early in the morning, and we're there, and we already have the bracelets and everything for him. So we just walk in and we just go sit at the booth, and we just go walk around, have a good time. We're waiting for 12 o'clock. So 12 o'clock, I'm in this room right here. This is the Gilmore Girls panel. That is Scott and I forgot the guy's name, but they're there representing Gilmore Girls, and great panel, by the way. A lot of fun. So then 12 o'clock rolls around. Gilmore Girls is done, and it is the freaking Frack show's time to shine.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you know, I got to be a moderator / host to Joey Fatone for his panel. So, which
Bananas.
is insane, man. So I'm going to play a small little clip, kind of show you guys. If you guys want to see the full video, check us out. Check it out on the Frickin' Frack Show's Facebook or YouTube. It's on both of those as Joey Fatone interview. So here we go. All right, this is Joey Fatone.
All 30 of you. Good to see you. You guys probably yelling. You have to have a microphone. Hi. Sorry, I know you were looking for Nick Carter, so you got me.
Oh boy.
That was a great start, by the way. That was a great
good icebreaker.
monologue, or I don't know what you call it, but yeah, it was because there was I'll say there was some Backstreet Boy fans who were not pleased, that Nick Carter had canceled, myself included, by the way, because then that would have been myself, Joey Fatone, and Nick Carter on stage together, which is a lifelong dream. Yeah. That was
the goal from birth till now.
Literally, yes. But it was, incredible. So we did this 45-minute panel where I got to just ask him questions and just even just talk to the guy. The Frickin' Frack Show, for those who are just joining us for the first time, we're a little different. We don't like to ask the same questions. We do like to dive into like the start of someone's career and things, but we try to be unique. So I kind of focus a little bit. I focus a little bit of NSYNC, but I focus on other matters and subjects of Joey's life. And it was, I think we wrote like 29, 30 things down in the little spreadsheet that we made, but I only used like one. And just like let it flow, Yep. And at the same time, we ask the audience if you have any questions, just stand up or go to the microphone and feel free to ask any questions. So, that was really cool because a lot of the questions were the ones I was like, I'm not going to ask because he's already heard this. When is NSYNC reuniting? So Joey actually at one point in the beginning of the episode, I think it was, he kind of broke it down to like answering 20 questions that he gets at. When's NSYNC reuniting? I don't know. Just kind of broke it down for us. So those questions wouldn't get asked. But funny enough, they were still asked.
No way.
Yeah, it was. People had came in late, so they didn't hear that part. And, and also Joey got to sing a little Bye, 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 which was really cool. And I was like, ooh, should I harmonize with him? I was like, next time. But
Hey, JT, looking to fill that spot.
Yeah.
Shayla said the Prince story, LOL. Can you elaborate? Is that kid friendly? No.
Yeah, it kind of is. They basically NSYNC through a party, and they invited the people who were there. So Prince was there. Joey had a disposable camera at the time, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go take a picture of Prince." So he was like, "Hey Prince, I'm Joey from NSYNC. This is my party. Welcome. And you need anything?" He says, "No, I'm good." And he said, "Would you like to take a picture?" And he says, "No, I don't think so." And he just walked away.
Whoa.
But Joey felt like it was an honor to be rejected by Prince. But he did say some other things. But that was hilarious because I looked at my friend. You can watch the video. I looked at Brian because Brian got to see Prince like 3 days before he died. Like it was the last concert in Atlanta. So I looked at him because we were talking about Prince earlier, and I was just like,
man, that is he's right though. what an honor.
Yeah.
You know, to be shut down by Prince. Heck yeah.
I would feel pretty great about that, you know?
Yeah.
So basically, afterwards, you know, the panel's a great success. My Michael Scott ending line is really, really great about thank you for actually showing up, Joey. You know, got some applause for that, and I won the crowd over in the end, you know.
Yeah.
So afterwards, Joey said, you know, come by my booth. So I went to his booth where he said, you know, get some photos, and I said, yes, I love that. So we took this is where I said, can we do a boy band pose? And he said, all right, turn around, side by side. And Joey and I had a conversation. Joey is, if you haven't met him, guys, if you want to, meeting him at a con is incredible because he really doesn't rush you. Which before this, by the way, I met two amazing ladies who I was so convinced they were twins, but they're sisters. And they said, this is our first time. We're here for Joey and Dean Cain, Superman, right?
Yep.
And so before the pictures, I told Joey, these ladies behind me, it's their first time, and like show them the absolute best time. And we started talking about how, you know, he's met people who rushed them off like him, you know, 3 seconds, all right, you know, bye. But Joey really takes the time for his people and for his fans. And so that's the first thing I told the ladies. I said, you know, they said, oh, how does this go? I said, take your time and have a conversation. And remember every moment and enjoy every moment you have. I said, he's not going to rush you off, which, by the way, they did do a photo op of somebody. I can't recall who. And they were rushed off after 2 seconds, you know. But so Joey and I took some photos, you know. I didn't. So this is a cool story, but I didn't have a hat because I couldn't find my beanie. So, you know, that's why I looked really terrible. But I went to Target later on that day and got a hat.
Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves.
So this is the a part of the convention. You guys can see the vendors, lots and lots of vendors, and just a small part of the convention. The back is where all the celebrities were. There was about like 40, maybe like 40, 50 of them. And yeah, we have this is incredible. This is my favorite right here. And of course, Ashley gets to meet Joey Fatone.
It's the dream. It's the dream.
It really, really is. So this goes to the next story, guys. So what happened was afterwards, after we took some photos, I said, I'm going to head out soon. I'm really, really tired. I said, I'm really hoarse and I'm having trouble talking because at this time, I probably had about, I don't know, 50, 75 conversations with many, many people who were fans or, you know, wanted to know about the show. And I was like dying of hunger, of thirst. I was just so, I don't know, just in pain because I was like, I can't really talk anymore. It's hurting, you know. I was just exhausted, you know.
Yeah, man. Talking to all those people that knew about the show and all the people that, you know, recognized you. That's
especially in Joey's line. It was like that every single time. So Joey said, "Hold on for a second. Let me give you something." So Joey wrote this out, and he says, "Who would you like me to write this out to?" I said, "Write it to the frickin' Frack show. Let it be for not for just us, but for everybody, all the frickin' frackers out there." So he wrote, "To the frickin' Frack show, all the best, Joey Fatone." Signed it. I don't even know why I pulled that up. I could have just showed it to you. Sorry. So I'm gonna have this framed, probably like right here, you know, because it is it's made out to all of us, and it was remarkable, man, remarkable. The guy was like, you know, thank you so much for, and he had told me this beforehand, but thank you so much for doing the panel. It was really different and a lot of fun, you know, and hey, who knows, we might have some good things coming with Mr. Fatone. And once things are in place, we'll definitely announce, you know, some things. And But yeah, these are the two sisters right here. I thought they were twins. They said they're not. So, but they are incredible. They were the nicest and sweetest people. I got to, so many, but they were definitely incredible. So now I'd like to take at least a couple minutes just to kind of to hear from the fans and their experience of the show. And then we could talk about everything else.
Let's do it.
All right, let's bring on Miss Heather, okay?
Hi, I'm Heather from Georgia. I recently attended the Fandemic event in Atlanta last weekend. As soon as my sister and I arrived, it was our first time going to one of these, and we got in the Joey Fatone autograph line. Luckily for us, Frack was right in front of us and gave us the lowdown on everything we needed to know. Told us he was a huge boy band fan, 90s icon fan, and helped us realize that photo ops were not the way to go, but that autographs were. And you could have selfies and get to talk to everybody. Luckily, we got to talk to him, and he was so nice, welcoming, and warm, and we just had the best time. Looking forward to being a brand new follower of the frickin' Frack Show.
She is so sweet.
Dude, I love her accent. Oh,
yeah. And that was the funny thing. Everybody had a different accent. And, everyone was like, you don't have an accent. Or someone said I did, and I said, no, I have a list. I said, I bit my tongue off when I was like 2.
Bro, she has the accent I've always wanted.
I know. Like, I can't even fake it. I can't even fake it.
Nah, man, you got to be straight from Alabama to be able to fake that kind of accent.
And then she's from Georgia.
Whatever.
Let's talk to Carrie.
Hi, my name is Carrie Merritt, and I'm from Northeast Georgia. My best friend and I attended the Fandemic Tour in downtown Atlanta at the World Congress Center last weekend. The experience of this was like nothing that I had ever had before. Hands down, would totally do it again. We met people like Kayla Bryan from the frickin' Frack Show, Chad Coleman from The Walking Dead and All American, Tom Payne from The Walking Dead and The Prodigal Son, and of course Joey Fatone from NSYNC. They were all just such amazing, down-to-earth people, just funny and kind, and it was just the whole vibe. Hands down, would do it again. If I could give it 10 stars instead of 5, I totally would. Definitely will be doing it again. The experience, 10 out of 10. Great people. I mean, it was, I can't explain it. Like, if you have not attended one, do it. Do it. It'll be so worth it.
Man. Yeah. Sweet Carrie, man. Sweet Carrie.
Cindy was dropping in, man. Cindy said she met Joey. There we go. I met Joey at 90s Con. I didn't have enough money for a photo on me. Had to save my last bit for one for Nick. That's our Cindy. And he was super nice and talked to me, gave me a high five. Super stand-up guy.
That's cool, man.
Man, then we got Heather dropping in saying that she loved you, man. Is that Heather from the video?
Yeah, it sure is, man. It sure is. She's so great, man. She really, really is. Like, I was so impressed. Like I always tell people, everyone says Louisiana has Southern hospitality. I tell people it's not true. Atlanta and anybody I meet in Atlanta is always like this, like just very, very kind and down to earth. And shout out to SJ. She's here and says cons are pretty exhausting. I have to agree with this one, and maybe it's because I drove. I did so much more than what I normally do, but or maybe it's because I'm getting old.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Hey, Nebraska, nice, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that when you were down there.
Ooh,
I can
there
teach
you go.
y'all
Matt.
how to have an accent. Hey, I would
fake
love
it till
that.
you make it.
I love that all day, every day. All day, every day.
That's cool, man. That's really
all
cool.
How to have an accent. See, I always go like Forrest Gump with it, and that's like insulting.
Yep.
So I'll just.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do it because it might be offensive to people. Because there are people who talk like Forrest Gump, and it's their accent. It's people not too far from me.
I love me an accent. Keep going.
Yeah.
I want another video.
All right, man. So now we're gonna go ahead and pull on Miss Ashley.
Hi. Please excuse the voice. Pollen has gotten to me here in Georgia. But my experience at the Fandemic this past weekend, it was really great. Better than I thought it would be. There was a lot of great booths. Lots of them. And my favorite was probably the freaking Frack show because I quite enjoyed and probably went overboard with all the little stick thingies you take a picture thing with, I don't know what those are called. I got to see Joey Fatone, which was actually better than I thought. He definitely smelled great, which I did tell him as well. But the best part was Frack, Mr. Caleb. Definitely, he escorted me down. He stayed with me, helped me get around. Talked 90s, 2000s, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. It was just really great. Thanks for making my experience that much better.
Oh man.
Yeah, she's so sweet, man. She was the greatest too. Like, we had never crossed paths. I don't know if we had ever talked on Facebook or Instagram before, but she was just so great, man. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
She seems super sweet.
Yeah, she definitely was, man. Definitely shout out to her.
Jamie says you have an accent. Oh no, wait. I've been to Louisiana, Caleb. Your accent isn't very strong.
So whenever I focus on speaking, I do not have an accent. But whenever I start moving that tongue, see, I bit my tongue off when I was a child. I bit it clean off. It was on the floor at the nursery, or maybe it was at my home at that time.
Ow!
But I think it was in the nursery. And so I bit my tongue off, and I had this and you can hear it when I say my S's and T's. T's ain't bad, but so it was a surreal experience. I just cried, and they just stitched it back up, at the hospital. And but I don't think I have an accent. Like right now I do, because I can't hear myself too. But I don't know. Like people around me, people in the city have hey y'all, I'm gonna go get some potatoes. You wanna come with me? And I'm like, dude, why are y'all talking like this?
Gator roll.
It's a gator.
Gator roll. Shoot him between the eyes. Shoot. So Leah says that she lived in Nebraska for almost 2 years. Totally think Nebraska has an accent compared to Wisconsin.
Ooh.
I think Wisconsin's accent is wild. It's wild.
Is
kind of Minnesota, or is that?
Oh, yeah.
Cindy. She says you guys need to come to the East Coast because we both love New York to a DNA show so she can meet. Yeah, I agree.
We just need to all just form up and just come together somewhere.
Yeah.
SJ
wants to. Oh, wrong comment. SJ wants to know any other cons in the cards for you, Caleb.
Yeah. There's 7 that I'm scheduled to go to, or 6 now that I'm scheduled to go to, in the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Dang.
Yeah, there's a lot. We've been getting invited to conventions and events and even concerts. So we have a lot going on, which is really cool for the show. It's great exposure, and we get the opportunity to meet all of you guys, and who knows where it's going to take us on the show on the road. Maybe we'll get some DNA tickets to go all across the world.
Yeah, so I think we should go to Canada so we can try out our Canadian accents. Let's see.
I don't know.
Hold on, I think I got it. No, I think it's more like, I'm not your friend, guy. I'm not your buddy. Don't call me buddy, guy. No.
I never heard anybody talk like that in Toronto. I have, even SJ. SJ has I don't think she has an accent. I mean, I talked to her quite a few times, and she's like, "Hey
Kat
guys,
does.
how are you?"
Kat has an accent.
That's true.
Episode 2.
That's
Go
true.
back, check it out.
That's right.
Cindy wants to know, Matt, how come you don't come to the cons? Well, yeah, it's a long story. Never been to one, first of all. And they tend to be in the summertime. I don't get it.
They do. And even right now, I tell people, the planes and everything, you couldn't drive to anything that I go to.
18 hours to Atlanta.
Yeah. And I mean, and to get on a plane is like, $600-700, and it gets expensive, guys.
Yeah.
It really is. But eventually we will be at a con together. We will rock that con. We'll probably interview hundreds of people, and instead of one voice, there'll be two.
Two voices. Let's see. SJ laughs. Take me with you to DNA. Leah says, of course. Yeah, man. We go. You can go.
Yes, that's right.
More on the accents. Leah says you should do a whole show on Minnesota, Wisconsin accents. Hey, I'm game.
I don't know those.
Those might have to be a private.
We have to research them.
I think you were talking about when you focus when you talk, that you don't have an accent, and then the first thing that went through my mind, hold up, we're supposed to focus. I just ran.
It's like, it's hi, how's it going? There's no accent there.
Oh, that sounded very, very proper.
But normally, say, hi, how's it going? No, not like that. Not like that at all. I don't talk about that. Hi, how's it going? No, I don't know.
Now you're thinking about it.
Now I'm thinking about it. That's not good, man. That's not good.
See, I lived my whole life that way. Don't think.
I never thought about it. Now that's all I'm going to do is think about that kind of stuff,
Yeah. So Saturday, you get done with the panel. You guys are you're packing up. I mean, what's happening?
Yeah. So Saturday, I decide. I'm hoarse. My body is run down. My back, my legs, everything. My vocal cords, my head. I just lived a rock star's dream, or a dream of ours, and meeting Joey and doing his panel and just hanging out with him for a bit, and I just felt like I could leave knowing that I'm satisfied in every way, because it was like a dream being fulfilled. And I don't, most people have dreams and never get them fulfilled, right? And I got to live in that moment and fulfill that dream. So I was like, I told Brian, he was like, whenever you're ready, man, we'll go. But, he's like, I don't mind it. I'm like, we can go. I said, so, what we ended up doing was we left the con and we ended up going to get some Nancy's Pizza, which is not pictured. But if it was pictured, you guys would probably lose your mind. Chicago style pizza, 3.5 inches thick. It was incredible. Afterwards, we went home. Watched a movie, watched a cool musical. I can't think of the name, but and Sunday we went and saw the Batman.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll talk about that later. I need to know deets, man.
You need to go see it.
Saw the 5-minute deleted scene today, and I about dropped, man.
That was insane.
I'm a big Batman guy.
Yeah. SJ says once you go to a con, it becomes addicting.
There's my reason.
Addicting.
I'm an addict.
There you go. There you go. I'm an addict too for cons.
There you go.
So, that's not good.
Let's see. Leah, Sharon. Oh man, I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin. I feel like I'm neutral. Sorry, I should have read this before. But then I get going, and apparently I say bag and other funny words. Haha. There we go. But they pegged me as a Minnesota accent when they heard me talk, and it's not even close. Hey, I guessed. It was a guess. I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. And by the way, shout out to Leah. Leah was very much involved and did our intro, by the way. We had gotten a song done by an artist, and that is not me or Matt singing. But I could do it. I could imitate it really well. The show is about everything. It's pretty easy. But it was an artist who had done the instruments. He did the vocals. He had created this track. And we reached out to Leah and we said, here's what we want. Here's what the vision is. And Leah was the absolute best and right person to make that vision come true. So you guys should definitely check out her store, which is incredible. She's got 90s things, 90s shirts, 90s attire and clothing, and New Kids on the Block trading cards, things like that, man. It's pretty amazing. She's really, really cool. She's a great gal. I was gonna say girl. Whenever I talk about girls, I just say gal.
Yeah,
But
that's the accent.
but we really do love her. She's done an amazing thing for us, and we truly do appreciate her.
Are you reading? I thought you started reading. I was going to read it. She
Oh,
says,
no.
"Haha, such a good theme song. So happy I can make your vision become a reality."
Yeah, and it did. It was everything. The idea behind the theme song was we make something that's like 90s, has a Nirvana kind of feel, but at the same time, Saved by the Bell, and it came out the way, we visioned it. And it didn't take long to put it together either. She did it really fast and well. And every now and then you'll see some edits. So when something happens that's big for the show, we're going to add it to that, to the video, like the other day, she added a clip of Joey Fatone at the end, because that was such a monumental, moment for the show, because it was such a huge accomplishment, as the frickin' Frack show. So yeah, it's ever changing, right?
Yep. Just like the show, ever changing.
Yeah.
So real quick, you and I were talking when you were in the Joey Fatone line. I think it was Saturday, and there were some girls, or some, I almost said gals. You're rubbing off on me. There were some girls in line. Were those the twins, or were those that you were talking to that recognized you?
Yeah. No, this was let's see. Oh my goodness, this was.
And I don't know how you tell those girls apart, man. You're right. They do look like twins.
I know. I can't remember who it was. Well, I mean, there was a few people. There was quite a bit of people. But at that moment, I think her name is Rachel.
That was an amazing moment, man.
I don't know. But yeah, she had recognized me. And she was the first, I think. I think that was the first night. But yeah, and then afterwards, every time I go to the thing, they were like, the freaking Frack show.
Oh,
and then a lot of people didn't know I was Frack, so they were like, we were talking, and they're like, yeah, they said, I just saw like a booth, but I don't see anybody there. I don't know if they're here. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm right here.
Dude, that's great. And the outfits, everybody's outfits that I saw were just amazing. Those were
There wasn't a lot of cosplayers at this one, believe it or not, man. And maybe a reason for that is because it was more focused on like Walking Dead, and I don't know, but there wasn't a lot of like cosplaying or costumes. That's one thing I noticed. I mean, there was some cool little costumes, but and I don't have it on here, but there was one where it was like Michael Myers, and he was bringing this like bush on wheels, and he would just swing it around, and like when people were waiting in line, he'd put it in front of them, and then he'd pop out like in Halloween and just stare at people. And people loved it. It was incredible, man.
I love spooky
It was
season,
incredible.
So the other twin is here. She says, from Hillary, the other part of the twins is here, enjoying this. Well, we're enjoying having you.
Oh, those girls, man. Look, it's so crazy because I met so many people, and I'm sorry if I didn't get everybody's photo in the episode, but I had met so many people there, and like I feel like we're gonna have like lifelong fans, just because everybody was just so opening and welcoming and sweet,
Yeah.
Leah says, can we have a freaking Frack show con, like 90s con meets 2000 vibes? What about you guys sending your requests to the 90s con saying we want the freaking Frack show there for 2023?
2023.
I think, right?
Yeah. I mean, did they just do the 2022? So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
2023. Golly. We're old. I'm old. Jeez.
I mean, 2023, the freaking Frack show.
I thought the world was going to combust by now in 2000.
Yeah. We beat it, man. Look, SJ says petition.
We beat it, he says. That's a meme for sure. Hey, we made it through 2000. We can do anything.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. SJ says cosplays are always so amazing. Some put so much work into their costumes. It is. And SJ, I don't know about even Cindy and Leah. Like, I don't know if there was a lot of cosplaying or costumes at 90s Con, besides everybody wearing 90s trends clothing. But normally, and SJ would know because she's been to a few cons, but normally there's a lot of costumes at conventions, but this one was just very light, and
Yeah. I mean, listen, dude, if hold on, Stephen Amell, if you're watching, I'll wear a
He
arrow
is.
suit for sure.
we went to see
100.
him a few times.
Was he there?
And, yeah, he was. Well, he technically wasn't because he was never at his booth. We from like the entire Friday and Saturday, we never saw him at his booth. But we did see John Broman. He
He's
was
funny,
like,
dude.
2 feet away from us, and
He's a
and
Broadway
also-
musical guy, dude.
Yeah, he it's him and the girl, not Felicity, but the other one in the show. She was there.
The second
and
canary.
I don't know. It's the blonde hair chick.
The blonde. Oh, dude, Katie.
Yeah,
Katie's
Katie
from
Cassidy.
Legends of Tomorrow. Oh my gosh, she's
Yeah,
athlete.
she was
dude.
there.
Athlete.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, dreamy too. Not as dreamy as Steven, but
Oh, look at that. Team Rocket from Pokemon.
I'm gonna tell my kids that. Never, going on. Never mind.
That's cool, man. Team Rocket.
People definitely dressed up as 90s, but I've been to Walker Stalker Atlanta before in 2017, and a lot of people were dressed up.
So what's hilarious is Cindy and I, she doesn't know this, but like we met. Well, we didn't meet at Walker Stalker, but that's where I know her from. The entire last 2 years of my life, every day I have wondered, how do I know Cindy and where have I seen her before? She just verified that for me today. 2 years later. So I was actually at Walker Stalker. And that is exactly where I have seen her before.
She says, LOL. What?
What? She's like, what? But yeah, no joke. So like I've been convinced that maybe like we went to a Backstreet Boy concert or something, but no, it was definitely Walker Stalker, which was, by the way, incredible. That was an incredible year, 2017.
Yeah. Was
You
that
call
fun?
me a creeper.
Let's see. Cindy, be nice.
So sad, man. It's getting really negative up in here.
It's the accent talk, man. It's the accent
know.
talk. People are offended.
So 90s Con was more of theme dresses and versus costume people. That's what I figured. I probably would have went as a boy band member or something,
Yeah.
Which that's what we're gonna do, by the way. When 90s Con do happen, when we go to a con together, we're gonna dress up. We're gonna have the frickin' Frack show attire, but we're gonna have like, we're gonna look like Backstreet Boys or something.
Ding! I have an idea. All
What's
white
that?
Earth Dang with the freaking Frack logo. All white Earth Dang.
Ooh, I know Alejandro said he couldn't do that. Remember?
That's okay. I can. I love
Leo wants to know: can we get a group frickin' Frack concert meetup going? We surely can.
it. Well, here's the thing. Got to have concerts.
That's
right?
true. Which
Yeah,
now
so we've been planning one. We've been planning one for a long time. We were going to go to Woodland, Texas, and do the lawn, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that would be probably where I don't know. Maybe we'll meet up sooner because I do have that flight credit I have to use way before June. So
I also have Backstreet tickets that are now on a Wednesday. So anybody
for
wants
sale.
anybody want Backstreet tickets to Oklahoma City? Should be outdoors. Get your tickets. All I want is my money back for what I paid.
That's right.
Hit me in the DMs. You can have them.
Cindy said I should have said hi. Well, Cindy, I didn't know you in 2017, but like, actually, let's see, me and Vicky went, and we went there for Nick, and this is a great story. And he was there, and he had the longest line out of anybody at that time. So we were like, let's walk around. Well, we walked around, and only to go back to Nick to find out he left and he was going back home. So that was really heartbreaking for us. And but actually, and I'm sure Cindy did the same thing, but we went to Alpharetta, Georgia for the I gotta ask Vicky. Some kind of it was the Backstreet Boys were headlining the event. Something Topia, and basically they performed for 45 minutes at the end of the show. And so yeah, we had a great time that weekend for sure. And don't worry, guys, she's just kidding. I've moved on. I've forgiven her.
Where does Cindy? Where do you live? In what state? Sorry, I don't need the address. What state do you live? Is it Ohio?
What is your zip code?
I still dig that. I said area code. All right, and I still like that. I think it's cool, man. It's a change of pace. I like guessing on what they're from.
I'm gonna say New Hampshire.
She did say East Coast, didn't
Oh,
she?
Pennsylvania.
Scranton by chance?
Maybe.
Just kidding. Jamie says, come to Dallas.
Actually, I am coming to Dallas. I mean, we could say that. I'm coming to Dallas at the end of April for the Texas Frightmare Weekend convention. So, Jamie, I will be in Dallas. We can definitely meet up.
Get your tickets.
That's right. That's right. Or meet me at a Starbucks, meet me at somewhere, and we'll get some food and eat some good burritos or something.
Catch me outside. How about that? I love Florida, Mercedes. I absolutely love it. I don't like the Gators, but I love Florida.
One day.
Scranton's an hour and a half north from Cindy. Let's meet there.
Wow, yeah. I mean, we'd have to go to LA to find 45 minutes from LA to find Dunder Mifflin.
Never mind.
But yeah, it's like 45 minutes away from LA. It's a real place though. But
I'll go and take a picture in front of the Scranton sign.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I like that.
That's a great one.
Go Big Red, Allison. Go Big Red.
Yeah.
So you packed it up, you head out, man, and you make it home, just perfect, right? The drive was legit. Everything went well.
Yeah. So, basically Sunday we saw the Batman and we just hung out all day and just that was a chillaxing day for me. And we ended up Monday morning, 7 a.m. I went ahead and just headed home. One thing you guys have to know is Louisiana roads are horrible. Everywhere else on the way there and back was incredible, smooth as butter. My back wasn't even hurting like crazily, because it was just smooth. And so, I got home safe and still can't believe everything that happened over the weekend. Still can't believe the people I got to meet and the freaking frackers. And it was definitely a memory I'll never forget. That's for sure, man.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you met up with people there, and I'm glad people enjoyed the booth. Yeah. And
just want to say thank you all for coming tonight and hanging out with us. It's been a while since we've actually done a live, and the reason, for those who don't know, is the Meta or Facebook or whoever it is detecting something in our backgrounds. And it says basically we've disabled your video, and you guys have seen this where we would be live and then 30 seconds or 5 minutes later our live was taken off air. So it hasn't happened tonight. Maybe it was the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. Maybe it was the Funkos.
They're cool with the goats up on the wall. They're fine with that. And John Costacos sending us the signed walls of fame. I like my background.
Yeah, me too, man. It's fitting, man.
We love you guys. I'm going to go check out the Batman. I've got games on Saturday, so I think I might try to do them on Sunday, maybe catch a matinee. I heard it's 3 hours, so I might have to clear the day. It is. Yeah, Titanic style on 2 VHSs.
3 hours and 18 minutes long, I think it was.
Worth it, though? Tell me.
Titanic?
No. Oh, God. I still watch that movie, Batman.
Yeah, me too. Yes. Incredible.
Awesome.
Incredible. It's not very divisive. Most people are saying it's incredible. It's fantastic. I met a few people who just don't know what to think, and I see why. But no, it was incredible for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. Don't end this just yet, but we are a podcast for the fans, by the fans. We bring you guys, shows every week for those who are just joining us. A lot of our episodes have been celebrities, and that's because people just want to come on the show. And we have a criteria. Usually it's 90s to 2000s. Majority of the time early 2000s, but we absolutely love bringing people on the show who meant something to us as kids, who mean things to us now. So Stephen Amell wanted to come on. It would be no question, because then we can bring it back to him and talk about life in the 90s and things like that. But we do have a criteria, and we don't just get anybody. We get people that we love and loved. We thank you guys for just tuning in. It's truly incredible to have your support and for you guys to just be here with us. And we love you. We love you very much.
Yeah, guys, this is episode 85, podcast for the fans, by the fans. Peace.
Look at my eye.
This is the freaking Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans.